Heard every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 2 to 3 p.m. here on 1270 AM KNDI Radio. Alright mga kaibigan, kagayang kakabsat, meron po tayong very special guest today. And she is none other than Miss Rose Sharma. Rose is a retired architect who loves books and reading. She established Calamansi Books and Things about 3 decades ago to ensure that books from the Philippines and those written by Filipinos are represented in our library system. The bookstore has evolved from a mail order bookstore into an online advocacy with the intent of helping global Filipinos discover their heritage by promoting books of value from the Philippines and those written by Filipinos in the diaspora, including publishing their own stories. Since this is her advocacy, she has agreed to serve as project administrator to implement this grant received by the FAUW from the Hawaii Council for the Humanities called We Tell Our Story, which will offer free workshops on 4 islands. Without further ado, mga kaibigan, let's please welcome to the program Ms. Rose Sharma. Hello, Ate Rose.
Hello, Alan. Thank you for having me here this afternoon.
Yes, and thank
Our
you for
project.
being a guest and telling us about this great event. Can you tell us what is happening, Ate Rose?
Well, maybe I'll give you a background a bit. This is being offered by the Filipino Association of University Women, and it's something that we had published prior. We had two books called Pinay and Journey, which is a compilation or anthology of narratives from different women, both here. In Hawaii as well as elsewhere in the world, mostly Filipinos in the diaspora. And we realized that there were also a lot of folks that wanted to write their memoirs, and but having trouble in sitting down and starting the first sentence, or just having that inspiration or that ability to write their memoirs. And so last year we had a talk story on that, and we agreed, since at the association we have a lot of folks who are able to teach this process of writing. We offered a free workshop last year, and we had a lot of folks signed up, maybe more than 20, and they came up with narratives. And so we thought that it would be good to get a grant to really offer this again. And the humanities did provide a grant, but wanted us to do this not only in Oahu, but also all the other islands, four of the islands, not only Oahu, but Maui, Kauai, and the Big Island. So we're here now. We have started, we got the grant, and we're starting the next writing workshop this end of the month until June 2nd. It's a weekend. And what we're doing now, from the first one, we will collect them. We have collected them, and we will be publishing them. So as Calamansi Books is a publisher, I've offered to publish that in behalf of the FAUW, because there's really something about seeing your writing in print, or seeing your stories in print, and also on other social media, like maybe posting it on the internet or what, and helping them to help them to share their stories with the rest of the world. So we're here to let the public know that the next session will be uh, May 31, June 1, and June 2nd in Oahu. But the deadline registration is already on May 15th, which is what, 5 days from now. So if they want to register, because we're limiting it to 20, because it's hard to really teach a large group. So our moderators, the workshop leaders, felt that that would be a good number, the 20. So
Okay, Ate, I have a question. Sorry.
uh-huh.
So sabi nyo May 31, June 1, and June 2 on Oahu.
Yes,
Is that
yes,
correct? Okay,
yes,
and then the registration is May 15th,
yes.
right?
The last day for
Deadline.
registration is May
Okay.
15th.
So two questions. So one, how and where did they register?
There is a you can go to the FAUW Facebook page, and there's a flyer there that's notes about this. Or they can, we have been sending out flyers and sending out what is it, digital flyers of this, and there's a number to call. For example, for let me just look at my notes here. They can call for registration. They can call Pepe Nieva, who is the project director of this writing workshop, at 808 225 1219, or they can email Nanette, who is our lead workshop person, at nanette48 at gmail.com. They can also call me at rosechurma at mac.com, or email me so I can direct them to the right person to register. The reason why we have an early cutoff for the registration is because Nanette really prepares for this. She talks to the applicant or to the person who wants to join the workshop, and so that she's prepared when she puts together the curriculum that is really tailored for the person who will be attending the workshop. So that's what we did last time, and I think it worked. It enabled folks to write down and start writing and come up with their narratives.
Okay, Ate Rose, where will this be? The on the May 31, June 1, and June 2.
For Oahu, it will be in the what is the it will be in Hawaii Kai at the Nets condo, and it's called. Let me see what it's called. Oh my God! But it's in Hawaii Kai, and it will be at the Esplanade Social Room, which is in the ground floor at 500 Lunalilo Home Road in Hawaii Kai. And for the Friday, it's 3 days, but for Friday, it's only 2 hours. It starts at 5 to 7, with pretty much the socials to get to know each other, for the participants. But the full brunt of it will be on Saturday and Sunday from 8:30 to 5:30 p.m. both days. Sunday, it will end a little earlier, but pretty much it's a 2 day, 2.5 day affair, you know, over in
Okay,
Hawaii
Ate
Kai.
Rose. Okay, so that's going to be on in Hawaii Kai along on at 500 Luna Lilo Home Road at the
Yes,
Esplanade Social.
the
Okay, and
Esplanade
that's going to
Social
be
Room. Mhm.
May 31, June 1, and June 2.
Yes, and it's you have to dedicate that time so that then by the end of the session they would have written something. There will be narratives they have written, and usually we the participants help each other write it as well as edit it and critique it, and that will then be posted on our social media accounts for the FUW, and somehow down the line, maybe next year, publish it also. And but we do plan, because it's a grant from the humanities, there is a public engagement requirement. So maybe by October, that's the first one, where we will convene the folks who had written, and they can share their stories on a public forum that will be shared digitally or in a hybrid manner with the other islands as well. So there's a sharing as well as a public discussion of our immigration experience, the way we assimilated, for example, in this new land, our adopted land, and all those things that would make the Philippine experience of living in Hawaii unique. That's what we plan to do.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. But
Mhm.
so this is going to be in English, right? And this is not Tagalog. It's English writing workshop.
Yes, yes. But
Okay.
we have in the first group that we did, the other books, we have received uh, articles in Tagalog, poems actually in Tagalog, which is okay. We
Mm-hmm.
have an English translation. Like, for example, I got a call from somebody that wanted to submit her immigration experience in Tagalog, which is now translating in English, and that's fine. I think that's wonderful that you can do that.
Okay, so I want to ask you, Ate Rose, what exactly do you learn in this workshop? What is it? Sentence structure, verb, subject.
No,
Like,
it's well,
how? Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, by that time, by this time, we all know that. But it's really, when you're writing a memoir or you're writing creatively, so that people are engaged in or accessible in wanting to read it.
Mhm.
There's techniques, like picture or creative writing that they say. So that's what Nanette does, and also trying to tap your inner spirit to, like, so that you can tell your stories in a, what is that, in an unforgettable way or a memorable way. So it's really creative writing, how to start writing in that manner. It's different from journalistic writing or writing a report, right? Which is so matter of fact. This one here taps your emotions, what you felt, what you observed, and your reaction to it. So what I noticed the last time we did this, because I was an observer, when they started reading, it was so heartfelt and so it became so emotional. People were just, well, I cried a lot, like, because people open up about what they felt, especially important things in their lives that they felt, needed to be told, things that made an impact on them. Um, Not necessarily the immigration experience as a Filipino, because we had everybody was involved, was invited then. I mean, different ethnic groups, but really things that made a difference in your life, or people that you've met that made a difference in your life, and how you reacted to them. So and it's wide open. It's your choice of what topic to write. But the thing is to write. That is our intent.
How important is that, at the Rose, to be able to, to tell your story in a creative way, and not in a dry way? I mean, how important is that when you want
You
to
know,
convey, that idea to a reader, or a listener?
Yeah. The reason why I think we got this grant and what we feel that this is important is that, for example, for Filipinos, we're the what 25% of the population. We're actually a large group, but apparently there's very little written about us from us because we're not a writing community, or we're not really that interested in. We're more into dance maybe and fashion and all of that. But it is important, particularly the baby boomers now that have joined us, realize that you're at the end of your working life, right? And you want to leave something to your descendants, so later on they know about what you had gone through. So this is really the intent here is really to encourage and document original first person histories that will contribute to the increased understanding of the Filipino experience in Hawaii and its impact on our history here and the culture of our island state, because we have contributed to this state. And but unless we tell our story, unless we share that, it will not be known. And I have tried the past, for example, I've tried interviewing people, telling them their stories, and it's really, really fascinating. Actually, since we did this, I've been asking folks, and some people have sent me portions of their memoirs, like Eddie, for example, Eddie Flores, and then you realize, wow, things that happened in the past that people don't know about, like what happened in the fiesta. People don't know that started in 1993, right? So I would just, because he sent me his memoirs on that, and just realize that this thing should be written down from the people that actually lived it, actually were there when it happened, tell their own story, so that not usually we have other people tell that story, but it should be us who lived it to write it down, so that people in the future will know this is what we have done, this is what we have accomplished, and this is what we went through. These are our struggles in living this life. So that's the intent of this.
Are you going to compile, like, maybe a book or a journal of these writings, or are these going to be in hard format?
Yes, yes. Actually, we from the FUW we have something similar. This one is on values. You know how you reacted to values, what values you discarded, what values you accumulated when you moved here to Hawaii, our adopted state. It's called Pinay, which is and Journeys, which are both published by the FUW. Now the writing that had happened last year, we are compiling it now. I'm doing it now. Uh, uh, Under Calamansi Books and things, and it probably will be out by July or so, in time for the Maui workshop, because Maui will be in July, and then Big Island is in August. Kauai will be in September. So by the time Maui hits, it's too late for the Oahu one, because I just started 2 weeks ago to compile these things, because we realized that I just felt that it's really important to have this, not wait until later, but do it now, to compile it into a book, which we are tentatively calling We Tell Our Stories. And so we have all of the narratives that was created last year from the 10 individuals who actually submitted something, but also included some that had submitted. that didn't make it to journeys, our book journeys, but it's more aligned with our memoir writing style for this book. Like, for example, I have the one from, I'm hoping she'll agree, the story of Melga Gendrano. And of course, Eddie, I'm asking him if we can publish that too, as well as Lito Alcantara and hopefully Tata Joe Lassos. It's like all these stories about from their point of view of what happened in the recent past, from their point of view. So we're doing that now, and yeah, I'm hoping I get it done by July. So it's really a packed work month for me to like get that done.
That's amazing. It's a lot of work, at the Rose, and I commend you on your effort to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this techniques that you're learning or that you're going to show at the workshop, a creative writing workshop, will they be applicable also if they want to say create their own blog or
Yes,
create,
yes,
because we're now heading into social and all this digital, but it's still important to know how to write and but to capture
yes.
that and put it in digital form. Will the participants be able to apply that into these new technologies?
Yes, not necessarily just a published book, because the first step for us is to upload it in our website, the FUW website, to upload it there, because, like you said, there's a lot of different media formats now, right? You can read it like in a podcast, like or maybe even read it, or the streaming systems that we have now. But the first step is always to distill your thoughts, to sit down and like figure it out so that it's interesting and it's accessible and it's something that people will listen to. If it's kalat, garbled, nobody will listen. But you have to make it like, you have to the true storytelling techniques, so that then people are grabbed, their attentions are grabbed to listen to you or to read whatever. So it's the same, and this is the format that we want. And this, what you will write in that workshop will probably be just a portion of it, like a narrative to get you started. But we're hoping to encourage people to also write their memoirs of what they did for the future, for your children and grandchildren, our stories of how it is to immigrate here, and how we how we struggled, how we succeeded in making our names, our making a difference here in our state. So that's the intent, is not to be afraid to write it down. And there's a lot of folks who want to do that. They just don't know where to start. So we're kind of helping. And if there is a one-on-one, for example, there's some who would ask for one-on-one coaching, for example, we have contacts and we'll be able to help them, match them with folks who are able to do that. Actually, yesterday, was it yesterday? No, Wednesday, we had a talk story online. We have HP Beck as a talk story, and we had storytellers from both Philippines here and the US continent who shared their stories, their books, their published works. One was actually in social media. Howie Severino, who is with GMA7, he does podcasts, documentaries, and all of that. And really, it starts with storytelling. It starts with writing down your thoughts, or you know, start with his grandmother, asking his grandmother how, what her life story. So it starts that way. And we also had Senator Will Espero, who in his retirement is now writing novels. So, but he captures in his novels the life here in Hawaii. You know, from his jobs in the city, he was saying that it's from real life experiences, capture that in a novel, so that it becomes very interesting. You're entertained as well as learning about our history here. So that's the intent.
That's interesting, Dr. Rose, that you mentioned that. So, these workshops, if you do them, would you be able to maybe write a novel yourself?
Yeah,
If
of
you
course.
really, you can. Yeah,
The key that I learned from last Wednesday's thing is really perseverance. You have to just sit down and write. It's the hardest thing, because it's a solo journey, right? It's not a group. You're sitting there in a room or with your computer and plugging away, and then after you've written a draft, it has to be rewritten and re-edited. But that's the way it is. But the first step is to sit down and want to do it, and really remind yourself that this is a long journey, and finish it. And that's what we want to encourage, because we want to make sure that the folks in the future will know what we've gone through, and our stories are told, and our stories are very interesting.
Absolutely, absolutely. But okay, so we're looking at these storytelling techniques and how to express yourself. How does that play in, let's say, with the rise of AI? When you have these AI
Yes, that's an
chat, yeah.
interesting question.
And no, no,
Yeah.
no, because you're saying how to write, but then I've been on AI, and my goodness, I can just tell it to do something, and then it pops up this uh, incredible literary writing that's unbelievable. Um, how would
But it's
that
not
affect?
your voice. I have
Hmm.
seen that
Hmm.
because I know, when we went on a trade mission, we had
Hmm.
folks write the like a story, not a story, but a letter. Like you have the testimonial in the front of the souvenir book, and one of the one of
Hmm.
the guys did a AI, like told him, okay, this. So it was just so long, and just so it's like,
Hmm.
oh my God. I mean, it doesn't really.
Hmm.
You can tell it's not him.
It's not personal.
It's not, and
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
doesn't really, when it's written from the heart, and that's what we're trying to do. That's what makes a good novel or a good story,
Hmm.
right? When it's come from
Hmm.
the heart, and it's your spirit is shown there. There's a connection. But I noticed that the ones from AI, it's there. I mean, it's written beautifully, but it's just like a report. It
It's dry.
the AI pulls
Hmm.
out from whatever is there, right, and puts it down. It's too
Hmm.
long. It has to be. I noticed that it has to be edited very well to
Hmm.
remove all the junk. There's a lot of junk included. You,
Hmm.
you,
Hmm.
you have to be careful also how to. It's a good tool, I think. You're writing a resume, or you're writing like that as testimonial. And you don't have time. You can do that, but if you're writing your story, the AI, the app also looks around in the internet to put it in, the data, right? It grabs it from the cloud and puts it there. But your story is unique. If it's not out there, what it won't tell the right story. You still have to write
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so I think we have about 5 minutes left on
Uh-huh.
this interview. Can you just tell us, just give a brief, what can people expect? Let's say when they go there, they sign up, and then they go
Yeah.
to the event. What can they expect?
When they sign up, Nanette would probably call them to like just find out what are their goals, why they're joining, etc. Gives you an idea of how to structure the curriculum for them, so it's still unique to them. And it's a social event for the Friday, to get to know each other, because you'll be staying together for to get comfortable. And then the next day, then she explains what to be done, and she will be giving you guys the time to write the narrative that you want to write. And then on Sunday, at the end of Sunday, there's a part where you can then share what you have written. And then after this, once we've collected that, and it's not over by Sunday, actually, because that's edited some more. I mean, she gets it. We have an editorial pool of members of the FUW that really goes through it to make sure that it's ready for publication. And then it's put up online for people to share. And then by October, starting in October, we'll have a public forum. So we will select from the best of the narratives, that, and then have a public discussion. They'll share to the public, and invite their families, of course, and their friends. And then we discuss about this whole process. Because I think from the humanities perspective, the interaction, the public forum, the dialogue among folks is really as important as writing your memoirs. It's also the sharing part is also as important. And we will do that for all the islands, because after Oahu, we will go to Maui, July 26, 27, 28, and then the Big Island on 8, 9, and 10 in August, and then sometime in September for Kauai, which we are still putting together. And then after that, when it's all up, then we will compile it, put it up again on the web, and then publish it, with the results in a publication. And hopefully we will do more of the literary readings. We had a literary reading online during COVID, and it was really good because we had Filipinos in the diaspora calling in, like sharing their stories as well. And it's really impactful, I think, when you share your stories. And I
Yeah.
hope that you guys will sign up, including
All
you,
right.
Alan. And you better tell Rhoda she should, because I want to
I
hear her
I
story.
won't be here. We're going to be in the Philippines.
Oh
But
yeah,
anyway, let me go ahead and invite everybody. That's Ate Rose Cherma, who was just talking about the free writing workshop, creative writing workshop that's going to happen May 31, June 1, and June 2 here at Hawaii Kai. For more information, please call 225-1219, and that's Peppy,
hmm
225-1219. Or you can also email Nanette48, okay, Nanette48 at gmail.com. And I want to say thank you, Ate Rose, again for this wonderful interview. I wish you nothing but the best with this program, with this workshop, and more power to you. And I hope that everything turns out great for this project here and also on the rest of the outer islands.
Thank you
Thank you
too,
so
Alan.
much. Thank
Yes.
you, Ate Rose. Thank you so
Bye
much, and
bye.
happy Mother's Day. Happy
Yeah,
Mother's Day.
you too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Bye
guys,
bye.
that's it for me. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po mga kaibigan. And that's it